Tell me this. If you know what your quote-unquote correct position in the tack is supposed to be, but when you try and force your body into that position, it hurts, what do you do? I get this a lot in the comments, especially when I do posts about foot position or hip rotation, where people will reach out to me and say, but that hurts when I try and do that. We know there is a more optimal way to position our bodies in the saddle, but we just can't get there because it's painful. How do we break that down? First thing to keep in mind is that mobility is 99% of the time trainable. If you know you need to be keeping your thigh more back or rotating your leg more inwards, but it just hurts to get there, seeing what joints are involved and then training those joints into that position. Yeah, it's gonna take time and it's gonna take effort, but that is the best place to start to cover your bases. I would say 9 times out of 10, if a rider struggling with a positional fault just works on their hips, low back, or ankle mobility for 6 months, ideally with some strength training mixed in there too, they'll pretty much sort out the issue. But let's say you've checked that box. Let's say you've screened your own mobility and strength, or you've been working on it really diligently for several months, and you're still struggling to get your body into the position you need it to be in. That's where 2 other possibilities can sit. 1, saddle fit. A strong, mobile, effective rider can overcome a shitty fitting saddle, but it does make life a hell of a lot harder. So working with a competent saddle fitter to ensure that your saddle is the right setup for your body can go a long way. Secondly, and I will say this is a rarer case, is that you are just built that way. There are some people whose hip sockets are just built in a way where they will toe out. And no matter how much mobility training they do, they will never get to a place where they can have their feet aligned. There are people who broke an ankle and had it fused, or have a meniscus tear that gets caught sometimes. And yes, in an ideal world, we would love to be able to get those people back to a point where they have full mobility. But sometimes that's just not the case. In those cases, it is still not futile to work on your mobility out of the saddle. It just means your expectations are going to be a little bit lower. And sometimes you're going to need other accommodations to get yourself into the position you need, like different kinds of stirrups or leathers. But the vast majority of the time, if you have pain trying to get your body into a certain position, you need to train those positions out of the saddle to make it accessible when you are in the saddle. And if you have been doing that diligently and consistently for a long enough period of time and still not seeing results, then you can take a look at these other pieces. So let me know, what position do you experience pain or stiffness in that you need a little bit of help with? Drop it in the comments and you may inspire my next video. It's Ginger Peach.